Good evening. Calling to order the meeting, Monday, March 2nd, 2026, Lee County Regional Planning Commission meeting. Start with roll call.
Chuck Beckman, not present. Ben Forster,
Here.
Ellen Smith, Emily Pratt. Here. Chris Jones,
Here.
Amy Palmer.
Here.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of the last meeting? I think they were sent by email. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, minutes approved. Start with old business. Petition number 25 PC 83 by Lee County Building Official. A petition named to amend the text of Title IX, Building Regulations of the Lee County Code of Ordinances. The proposed text amendment would adopt building codes by reference and establish their applicability within unincorporated Lee County.
That is correct. Has everybody had a chance to look the document over?
Yes.
Do you have any questions that I could address pertaining to, I won't take the time to read through it verbatim for you. If, like I said, if you have any questions about any of the chapters or any of the codes that were adopted, any references, I'd be happy to answer those for you now.
If I may too, to give a little background here. So I gave you guys all what is Title IX. So this is what the document that Mr. Bay is presenting tonight is what is going to replace what is in Title IX. Currently, we have area planning organization, plat fee receipts to accompany plats, review of zoning permit regarding flood protection, and notice to board members of zoning petitions. The majority of these should be placed in other areas of our ordinance anyway. So this document here, which starts Exhibit B, is just the relocation of these 4 items to various other parts of the ordinance where they're a better fit. As you can see under 912, it has a number 1 so that you look down in the notes and it refers you to the subdivision chapter. So we're just going to put that right in the subdivision chapter. So if anyone has any questions about that, I can answer those, and then Joe can answer anything related to the text that will be replacing Title IX.
So if I understand you correctly, what's in the Title IX is just going into Exhibit B. These were things that were already decided upon.
So
We're removing them.
So Exhibit B is, I have these labeled as exhibits for when I present them to the board
Got it.
to make it clear. So if you look in here, it just shows you, so this tells you where I've moved it. So I moved it from Title IX and I've moved it to Title 10, Chapter 2,
Oh, I got
Article
you.
C8.
Okay. Got it.
So
These were things that were already in place.
yes,
We are just putting them where they make more sense.
correct, to make
Okay.
room for,
Okay, I just want to make sure I was understanding.
okay, sorry.
Is that the same thing for the Chapter 1 building regulations, or are those new?
The Chapter 1 building regulations is what's replacing the old Title IX. So it'll be the new Title IX, Chapter 1 building regulations under this document. Before the 14-page document. That will be the new Title IX.
Did I confuse everyone? I apologize.
Nope, that's okay. It's just, I want to make sure I was following.
In a nutshell, the old Title IX has been wiped clean. The items that were in the old Title IX are moved now to Title 10. And then we have the new 14-page document that is the new Title IX building regulations. Oh, good. Oh, good.
So it must have been an extremely long day, but I cannot find 10-14-1 in here. Is that what I'm supposed to be looking for? So it says 911 fences,
Okay.
right? Do you know what I'm saying?
So these are all, so this is Title IX. Title IX's called building regulations, but it's got all this other stuff that's really not related to building.
building.
Regulation. So we're scraping all that out. We're moving it to other areas of the code where it actually fits. And
Okay,
we're replacing it with this. So section 1, that will be section 1. Now, when you get down to,
on here.
Alice, what she's asking is she was reading in the new title?
yep,
Right, so in the title, this is all there is. We are not gonna find anything from chapter 1 in anywhere else. This is completely new.
Correct.
So this
Except it is referencing 1014.
Of the code that we don't have in our hands right now.
You don't have the complete code. Alice didn't print it in its entirety.
It's huge, right? I get
Yeah.
it. Okay,
But that's where you would find other references to the fence ordinance is in
gotcha.
1014-1.
And that was just my example. I
Sure,
was trying to
absolutely.
look for
Yeah.
connections.
so fences and swimming pools under the zoning ordinance. So the zoning ordinance is under Title 10. Building regulations is Title 9. So there is going to be established regulations for fences and swimming pools under Title 9 for building code regulations. But we also have zoning regulations specific to fences and swimming pools.
Got it, okay.
So in addition to the building codes, you also have to make sure you can meet the zoning requirements for those uses as well.
Mhm.
So there are some references to those existing zoning ordinances. So if it starts with a 10, it's in the zoning.
It's already in there.
It's already in
Okay,
there.
got it.
That's correct.
Okay. That makes sense. So we're
So-
not even, go ahead.
So basically, nothing has changed, you're just moving things around?
Well,
Not
But-
entirely.
Until you get to chapter 1 building regulations, which is the new Title IX.
Okay,
And so those are building codes. How do you explain building
or we've
codes?
what this does is we're adopting the International Code Council cycle of building codes. And what that entails is it's broken down into these chapters. So chapter 2 is for property maintenance code. And it talks about a little bit, now the property maintenance code is in and of itself a published book. We're adopting that published book as our property maintenance codes. And then there are some amendments to the code that are listed in here. Different things under section 2. And so on and so forth. Those are all there. And then you drop down to chapter 3, which is in fact the building code. Now, that doesn't mean the building code in the international code cycle, you have an international building code, which is for commercial structures, public structures. And then you have, also we're adopting the international residential code, which is for 1 and 2 single family and apartments and townhomes. So that'll be that, the international building code is that. We're adopting the chapter 4 of the life safety code. We're adapting chapter 5, the plumbing code. And the only reason we're adopting that is because we do that, we adopt the state's building code and then, or the plumbing code, and we adhere to the state's regulations for plumbing because the state of Illinois regulates all plumbing. So that's just, we're adopting that code. There's never been a code adopted by the county before. None of these codes were ever adopted by the county before. This is all brand new. Fuel gas code is chapter 6. The residential code is chapter 7. And those are all of the code that we have adopted now. All that whole stack of books applies to the county now.
and we're doing this because,
It was-
just in review,
It was just it was time, we were mandated by the state of Illinois as of January 1st, 2025, that if a municipality or county did not have an existing building code, they must adhere to the state's minimum requirements. So the county then decided that we are going to adopt our own building code. This is it. It's the 2021 cycle of codes for the International Code Council and the 2020 International Electric Code. So that's what we're adopting as opposed to being mandated to the state's lesser required 2015 and 2014 code.
Okay, I want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. So we're adopting the international code because it is less than adopting the state code?
No, it's more. This one is more. We've adopted a newer code cycle. Code cycles are only supposed to be a maximum of 9 years old before they get updated. So the 2015 code is now at this year is being phased out. And you should be adopting the next code cycle. We went with the 21 code cycle because it's just a little bit less invasive, in my opinion, than the 24 and the international code cycle and the 23 national electric code cycle. That was just a decision that I had made and I'm presenting to the board and to yourselves.
But we could do the same code that the state of Illinois has, which is less invasive than that.
I could, but it is expiring because it's the 2015 code and the code cycles are supposed to be updated every 9 years. And so
So
now it's 20,
in theory, using the 2021, we don't have to do this again until 2030.
correct.
Whereas if we use 2015 code, it's already expired and
Yes,
we'd have to move on to 24 or 25.
correct.
Okay. And by adopting the code, this is going to be towards new residential or anything that's a permitted
Correct.
construction.
And it will come along with a series of inspections that I myself perform.
Yeah.
Throughout the phases of construction. With the exception of plumbing. The county will do no inspection on plumbing. That's all handled by the state of Illinois.
Okay.
So somebody does an addition to their home, they get a permit and they want to do their own electrical work,
That is allowed.
but you would be inspecting
Correct.
at each. Okay,
Yes.
which we did not have before.
I can't answer 100% to the extent of what Casper Manheim did. I don't know how many of the projects that he was actually required to go out on. Alice may know that better than I.
He was strictly commercial development, so this
Not
would be new.
residential. Okay.
Probably- I'm sorry.
Yes, because within the city limits of Ashton, I believe he is their building inspector, so he would have also, he works all throughout the Sauk Valley area, but
Local
he
County,
is,
Whiteside.
yeah.
But he retired.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
So this will operate similar as to what the city of Dixon does.
It's identical. And to Whiteside County, Rock Falls, Sterling.
Sure.
Yep.
Have our neighboring counties already adopted the 2021 code?
Sterling has, or Whiteside County has adopted the 21 code. Ogle County, I don't believe has.
Dixon is going to be?
Dixon's going to be, they're still on the 15, they're going to be adopting the 21. Whiteside and Sterling have already adopted the 21.
There are advantages to having building codes. You know, they're not everyone's favorite things, but it does open grant doors for the county to be able for us to get resources from the state. More sound housing. We have a lot of wind in this area. A lot of damage can be caused from high winds. So having these building regulations are going to help in the long run. Nobody's excited about it maybe, but
Well, that's not fair.
except Joe.
Oh, it's fair.
No, I know it causes reservation, but I think it'll be good for Lee County in the long run, for sure.
And again, we don't have a choice. We have to either adhere to the 2015, which is expiring, or we adopt the new 21.
At the rate of the state of Illinois, they're going to have the same building code for the next 5 years.
Well, probably.
But state of Illinois can adopt something after 2015 that's more restrictive than what we're doing. This is
The
9 years.
2021 is a very fair code, and so is the 2020 National Electric Code. They are. With the exception of perhaps the Energy Conservation Code that was also mandated by the state of Illinois.
Tell us more about that.
State of Illinois mandated their Energy Conservation Code. That's the green book in there. You can see it's got it lists all of the requirements for the energy efficiency components of new residential structures or remodels over 50% of the value of the existing structure.
What makes it more, I'll say, invasive?
They have requirements in there for insulating foundations. They have very stringent insulation values for walls. You can still get by with a 2x4 construction, but the only way to do that is to use a closed cell foam spray and insulation, which is a little bit expensive.
Which almost no one does in our area.
No, there are people around that do it, but it is more expensive. So you're kind of moving to 2x6 construction for walls, for exterior walls, to get the insulation values that are required in the code. Unlike the international code cycles, we can amend those to fit, our desires or needs. We can't amend the conservation code or the Illinois Energy Conservation Code because the state mandated it. So they're like, here you go. This is what you get and don't have a fit. So. And then we have to adhere to that for our construction. New construction. There's no sprinklers required in the residential. That's amended only for the townhomes, 4 units or more. I mean, you could put a sprinkler system in if you wanted. There's, it's gonna cost more, but
So the energy efficiency is mostly about insulation.
mostly, yes. Most energy, it's not just about, I don't want to say it's just about, it's just about insulation. It's about lighting requirements. They wanted us using LED lighting. They have some requirements in there regarding switches for motion switches or time switches, so that, even if you wanted to leave a light on, you theoretically couldn't.
You're being serious right now?
I'm being very serious, yes.
Oh.
I'm being totally.
So a new house built in Lee County would have to have motion censored lights or timers on their lights.
According to that code, they would, yes.
Is that true in Dixon too? Do you know?
It was mandated throughout the state of Illinois. It's everywhere.
Huh.
It's okay. Every once in a while, you just have to go like this.
Just, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
And it speaks to energy efficiency, heating and cooling, windows, doors, that kind of a thing. Now, let's put it this way,
You're going to want to save energy right now, because right now we are competing with technology companies for energy and for the price of our energy.
Totally aware. Also don't want them telling me what light bulbs I can use.
well, exactly. I understand.
That's kind of what I was wondering, is how nitty gritty does this get? How much does this affect the citizens of rural Lee County? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I would tell you that it's minimally invasive.
It's new construction. It's more than 50% of the value of the existing structure.
Or a brand new house.
Yeah, new construction. Yeah.
Do we want people to, I guess it doesn't matter. Illinois doesn't want us, never mind.
I mean, it's going to be statewide.
Yeah, it is. It's statewide. Anyone have any further questions?
I just want to note for the record that no members of the public are present at this time.
Any further discussion or? At this point, I'd entertain a motion to adopt petition 25 PC 83 and recommend it to the county board. Is that what we're doing?
I'll move that we adopt it. Do I have to say the whole,
And recommend it to the county board.
okay. 25 PC 83, petition number.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Recommendation carries. But we're recommending it to the county board.
I appreciate that. All right.
They'll have fun with it, I'm sure.
Okay, so we're done with that one. I'll let Ben take back over.
Okay. No new business, then we'll move on to other business revisions to the ordinances governing wind and solar. Discussion only.
Yes, we'll kind of lump all of this together, the revisions to the wind and solar and the creation of the ordinances for energy storage. I sent you a lot of information. I apologize. So most importantly, we are in receipt of 3 drafts that we are looking to work from, which I provided to each of you. These were prepared by Heil and Royster. They're a law firm that does a lot of this type of ordinance work throughout the state of Illinois. They were who we worked with in 2023 when the first round of siting standards was approved. So we are looking to continue using them to remain consistent with what we've done so far. The revisions to wind and solar are minimal. Couple of the things have to do with the fees and payments. The capping of the fees and payments. The other thing that it's going to address, particularly in solar, is the screening section. We've had our screening section in place since, I'm going to say 2021. I don't like it. It is not easy to administer. It conflicts within itself. So we are going to go back to a very basic requirement for screening. And if they don't want to provide screening, they can obtain a waiver from the property owner in whatever fashion they can do so. The way we have it now is the landowner either gets a payment or they get a screen. It was a great idea. It just is not, it doesn't work in real life. So those are minimal. Did anyone have any questions, concerns related to the wind and solar? So the next one is the energy storage. So this is the creation of all new regulations. There is not any wiggle room for us as a county to make changes to these requirements. The one thing it is missing is the agricultural impact mitigation agreement. The state of Illinois has created these documents, and I sent you copies for the 4 different uses: wind, solar, KV lines, and pipelines. What I would like to do is try to capture some of these requirements and bring them into the battery energy storage. Now, can we make changes to the ordinance? No. Is this in line with what the state of Illinois has already done? Yes. Is it good for the soil of Lee County? Yes. So it is worth trying at this point, and let's have a company push back, I would say, if they don't want to commit to these very basic construction and deconstruction standards. So what I am trying to do right now is I'm going through, I'm using wind and solar AMAs as my guide. So I'm going through these documents, trying to identify what we can capture and basically create our own AMA for the purposes of energy storage, at least until the state can catch up. Basically, what I'm doing is copying almost verbatim as much as I can. I am including in there a stipulation that, you know, it can be updated. So if the state doesn't do anything, we will be the authority for the best AMA standards unless the state steps in. And we'll put a caveat in the ordinance that states if the state creates this AMA within the next few years, they're going to have to enter into one of those with the state within 90 days. So that way we're making sure that this does not get pushed aside or overlooked in the future. Does anyone have any questions about that avenue? Questions, concerns? Yes. Yes. So we must be in compliance. The state, it goes into effect on June 1. My goal is to have Lee County in compliance by that June 1 date. Therefore, next month, I'll be bringing 3 more petitions to you guys with these changes. So bet y'all can't wait.
So these pipelines are carrying what?
So no pipelines, those were just examples. So I didn't even use the pipeline or KV AMAs. I'm not even looking at those. Those are underground structures. It's going to be very different to how we're looking at solar and wind, which are both above ground. Solar and wind are drastically different, and wind and energy storage and solar are drastically different. So we are going to have to curtail it specifically to energy storage. If anyone is an expert on that, please let me know. So anything you hear, any concerns you have that you think that we can capture within our AMA that we're going to try, let me know. Basically, we want it almost as verbatim so that the state won't give us any grief in the future if there is any pushback.
We can be stricter than them.
We
Correct.
cannot. We cannot. We can be less restrictive. We cannot be more restrictive.
Why can't we be less restrictive on the building?
I know.
code?
I know. They, basically what the attorneys that we've discussed these new standards with, they've said the state has written out any ability of the counties to have any control. So we are stuck with their setbacks. We are stuck with whatever they feel is appropriate for our county. That is all I have. If anyone has any other questions, comments?
I do have one question.
Sure.
Just because it's come up within the last month.
Yes.
There is a certain solar project that is busted. Is there a requirement for them to fix it in so many days?
It will depend on when it was built and what ordinance it is under.
Got it. Okay.
And if it's the one I'm thinking of, it is not even covered by an ordinance
Why?
because it predated anything that the county had in place. But we're getting to it. With the adoption of these building codes, International Property Maintenance Code is actually going to give us a lot more teeth to go deal with
fine.
existing properties that have fallen in disrepair.
So
Looks like the Dickens.
what are the other counties doing about energy storage? Do we know?
They are doing what the state is requiring. A number of counties were, they did, we have a couple of different county groups. The Illinois Association of County Board Members put on a seminar on January 30th. A number of the county and county zoning administrators were present. That was the one with Heil and Royster that took us through all of the changes and provided these drafts. So a lot of them who, because some counties still have not adopted zoning in Southern Illinois. I'm really glad we're not one of those counties because they're kind of getting the shaft with these new regulations that are being pushed out. Basically, we have to adopt it or we lose our ability to have any authority over the projects as they're coming in. Number of counties have challenged, specifically on solar primarily. Counties that have not approved solar. There's been a number of lawsuits filed within the last several years. So far, I've only heard of one county being successful, and that was due to a technicality. The solar company did not complete proper notification. So they were right in not approving that project. But any other county that has not approved a project and it has been challenged at the state has lost. I am good if no one else has anything.
Any other discussion on that subject?
I have, I tried to review some of this
Mm-hmm.
and it dozed off.
Huh. Go figure.
So I guess seems like if I'm going to compare solar, wind to storage, I'm just trying to think on what my process will be.
Are we talking about the EMA and
Mhm.
creating that?
Mhm.
The standards, so basically throw away the pipeline and the KV line. Look at wind and solar. If you look at it, it's pretty much stating the same thing. And that's the key is they've created these standards which are essentially being carried over.
Okay.
So there's going to be little differences because it's its own unique technology. So how it's wired in and stuff like that will be different than a windmill or a solar farm.
I had noticed fencing.
I'm trying to figure out how that works in the energy storage side.
Okay.
So I believe the facility will be fenced. I would imagine at least that in compliance with the NEC. So, but that is one thing that I need to look into.
Have we had any interest in energy storage here?
We get calls. We have not had any official meetings. So we get calls from we don't really get calls from companies themselves. We get calls from fact finders, and these companies are hired by the energy companies to kind of go out and see what counties have on their books for these ordinances. So I had probably 3 fact finders that have been calling me about every 3 months to find out where we're at with energy storage. So it's likely it's coming to Lee County.
Full disclosure, I have a contract that we have not signed for energy storage. I've got a proposal.
So it's out there. They're the county's the last one that they notify. So they're out there talking to landowners.
And I told them, I'm meeting with the attorneys. I'll get back to you.
So it's not official yet.
Are we talking large facilities?
They could be. So as of right now, the energy storage that can come into the county right now has to be accessory to wind and solar. So those typically aren't going to be your large projects. It's going to be these standalone ones that could be 100 megawatt, 200 megawatt. From what I understand, they try to put them in near substations sometimes so that the substation has something to draw off of. I don't think they're just going to be plopped out in the middle of nowhere. I think they're going to have to be by infrastructure.
So I have a graphic. Is it in this one or the other one? What they're saying is like 160 acre solar farm. Here we go. This 100 acre solar farm would be what was captured in this storage thing. So I'm not looking at doing any solar panels. It'll just be this, and they're talking 2 to 5 acres.
Batteries are going to be pretty key in an area that relies on intermittent renewable energy. These batteries make it worth something, is my understanding. So obviously they can't produce when it's not windy. They can't produce when the sun's not shining. So these batteries will then kick in to work when they cannot. So it makes it the grid more stable. I feel like they're kind of necessary to our mix of energy uses that we currently have in the county. Anyone else?
Okay. We'll see no public. I guess there's no public comment. So entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.